is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. Glad to have you here. And Ron here at Ablesys, and we'll take a look at some charts. We've really had a pretty unbelievable year for intraday trading, but yet AbleTrend software yesterday being the best day of the year. And yet AbleTrend signals are going to work just as well for long term as they do for short term. It doesn't matter if you trade stocks or futures or day trading or position trading. It just depends on what kind of attitude you have and how often you can be in front of your computer, because you'd have to be there all day during the market hours to be a day trader and to be profitable. It's not for everybody either, because it's just very up and down. It's quite crazy. So it's just not for everybody, but that's okay. That's swing and position trading, because that works just as well, if not even better, because you don't have to be in front of it and as often, and you don't, it's not as stressful, and a lot of people like that better. So I think that's a great solution for those who just maybe not have the right attitude to be intraday trading, because you have to take all the trades. It's definitely going to be losing trades, I can guarantee you that. And it's just, up and down all day long, and it's kind of crazy sometimes, especially like we like the E-minis, E-mini NASDAQ. However, it works just as well for E-mini Russell or S&P. It's whatever you like, and not what anybody else likes. You just hope that you pick a market that just has a lot of movement, because if it doesn't, well, nobody in the world can win if it just goes sideways. But what's so well liked about Abletrend is that we have 2 time frames we combine into one chart. And that really, really helps because it filters out a lot of false signals. It greatly lowers the risk, and we're all about low risk here. That's the most important thing is, don't lose. Secondly is to win. So when you combine the 2 time frames, it really lowers our risk. It filters out a lot of choppy markets where we have a lot of no trade zones when most others are getting beat up in a choppy market. We're just sitting on the sidelines. So it's a really, really, just a huge help, certainly compared to everything else. And that's what you should do during your 1-month trials compared to what you normally use. And I have never gotten so many positive, profitable emails from clients who said they've been done so well the past week, really. Than never before. So, and it's really been great. You just have to be very robotic about it, and that's the hard part. You cannot trade on your emotion. You cannot trade on your feelings. There's just no chance of winning that way. You have to trade with what the signals, and it's a algorithm with a 20-year track record. Keep it simple and just go by our simple trading rules. That's what's so important, and it's also so difficult. And believe me, I know. And that's okay. If that's the case, you trade smaller amounts of money, or you just swing trade stocks or ETFs because there's a lot less stress that way. Easily make just as much money. It just depends on, whatever you're comfortable with. Because to be successful at day trading, you have to be in front of your computer all day during stock market hours. So that's the only way to be profitable. Obviously, nobody in the world knows when the big move is going to come, but that's why, you have Abletrend. Most people make the mistakes of putting their stops too tight and getting out too quick. That's the 2 biggest mistakes everybody makes. And that's the best part of Abletrend that everybody likes and why it's so well liked over all these years. That everybody says it helps them the most with where to put your stops, limiting losses, and when not to get out so quickly and stay in the trade to pick up the big gains like a day like yesterday, which was the most profitable day of the year. So let's jump in and take a look and see what Abletrend signal says. So I have a Dow chart up here right now. Obviously, very important to look at the Dow to see what's going on in the market as a whole. And whereby the Qs and which is the NASDAQ, has been in the strongest uptrend ever the past few months. The Dow, which has had some nice buy signals on it, but it hasn't been as strong as the NASDAQ. It's kind of been really lagging the market. Obviously, we have very nice buy signal there that went up very nicely and was a nice winning trade. And this here is one big no trade zone. We didn't go short because of the strong support below. However, I show this today because it's real important. We have a new buy signal today on the Dow. So keep an eye on this. DIA is the symbol. Keep an eye, that's the ETF. Keep an eye on the Dow because Abletrend says we're going higher. All-time highs are up here, so we'll see. Well, I don't know. I'm sorry. All-time highs are up here at 290, about 295. We're at 266 today. We'll see if we hit it or not. But there's a clear path for it to go higher according to Abletrend. So Abletrend says we're going higher on the Dow. Interesting, very interesting. That's a good sign for the overall market. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so now let's take a look at the mini NASDAQ. That's our favorite intraday chart to trade. And again, you can trade anything you like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we like. There's a lot of movement. Some people find it a little too quick, which I agree it can be. So then I suggest either ES or RTY, the Russell. Russell's another real good one. It doesn't move quite as fast, and you get that big move. You get those big moves all day long. So pretty cool stuff. So just taking a quick look at the mini Russell mini NASDAQ chart. Pre-market, we had a really good move, and when you've got, just keep this in mind when there's news coming out early in the morning. It's just been because of VIX is 30, so you're going to get some really big swings all day long. I mean that's why it's been that way every day this year. especially since March. It's just been phenomenal. But you got to be very robotic. And again, that's very difficult for a lot of people to do, which I certainly understand because I know that feeling. So you just have to be very robotic about it. And if you can be, and be very serious about your trading in front of the computer, during stock market hours, and very disciplined, not looking at other indicators and, not trading on your feelings or emotions, just trading the able trend signals and rules. Oh boy, you've got a chance to make a lot of money, and it's been extremely profitable. But it's just not for everybody because of the mental part of it, and I totally understand that. I'd suggest maybe swing trading then, or position trading stocks or ETFs. It's a lot less stressful. You may not make as much, but it's a lot less stressful. And you can see here we had a perfect triple confirmation sell signal. This is what you're looking for on your chart. I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is what you want to look for. Red bar is a sell signal. A red small dot is a 1-minute sell signal. A red small X is a 2-minute sell signal. And a red big X is a red 3-minute sell signal. It doesn't get a lot. It doesn't get a whole lot lower risk than that. I mean, that's as good as it gets. Plus, I love to look at the 15-minute chart here. That was also on a sell signal. And the 3-minute, 9-minute was also. So it was just a pile, the biggest pile you could imagine, on top of each other. Abletrend just screaming that, hey, we're going lower. And that's exactly what it did. In fact, it dropped 100 points right after that. So that was a huge winning trade. Pre-market, but some people like to trade then. Perfectly fine, especially when VIX is so high, pre-market trading, or even during the dead zone, which is the lunch hour from 12:30 to 1:30 has been very good. And when the VIX is this high, go for it. Especially if you see it's a really volatile morning, like it's been every day for the past 5 months. Just go with it. So triple confirmation sells a buy signal there, and that one turned out to be about a break even because the stop out is the second lower blue dot below the price. Second lower blue dot below the price. Not the first one right there, second lower one. But that was really volatile. It was right at the open. It shot way up, perfectly fine to, maybe even just wait a few minutes, and nothing wrong with that because that's difficult in real time to, taking those that trade because it just shot up like a rocket, like it does most days, except for yesterday. I mean, 4 of every 5 days are the market goes higher. And again, today, another big winning day for the market today. But this is the trade I want to focus on is a triple confirmation sell signal where you had the 1-minute, 2-minute, 3-minute. I mean, everything was just perfectly aligned. You were on a sell signal on the 15-minute chart. Everything was everything was on a sell signal. It was just a sea of red everywhere on every chart. So you don't want to miss that one. And because the dots were so much further than the actual trade when the bar closed, because we wait for the bar to close, the dots, the support resistance points was so far higher, there's just no way we could put a stop above those, which is where we prefer to put the trade. Just put it 2 points above the high of the red bar. And it never even come close to hitting it. It just dropped like a rock right after that. The stops we would then use is when we see 2 green bars in a row, we put the stop because that means the trend's getting weak and we would never get out on a red bar. And this thing just dropped like 100 points in like 5 minutes. It was fantastic. It was great to watch that. And then 2 green bars in a row, we put the stop just 2 points above the higher of the 2 green bars. And 10 minutes later, we're stopped out with a 40-point gain. Let's just call it 30 because it moved very quickly. There's slippage in commissions, but the first trade there, for a short trade, was a very clear-cut, obvious sell signal, and we just dropped, I mean, everything was just on a perfect sell signal. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 9 minute, 15 minute. It just doesn't get lower risk than that. So you got to jump on those trades. Don't hesitate to jump on those because 9 out of 10 of those, or 4 out of 5 of those, are going to be winners, and they're going to be big winners too. There's a sweet spot. If you missed, or once we get stopped out, there's the sweet spot, and a sweet spot is a pull when the prices pull back to these red resistance dots. As you can see, they couldn't break higher. It stayed right around in that area, bounced off, and it went down. That's the beauty of the indicator, and that's the best part about Abletrend, are the small red and blue dots. Red dots are resistance, blocks the price from going higher. It means you're in a downtrend. Stay in the trade. You're safe. So we're shorting it right there at the close of that bar. So that red bar hits the red dot, triple confirmation, 15-minute, just a big mess of confirmation. The software telling us it's going lower. And again, that's what happened. There are two greens after we're in a big profit, and we're stopped out right there. I was another about 20 points on that one. So, starting off the day really good. Triple confirmation buy signal right there. Losing trade. There's a first 3-minute X, the big X, 2-minute, 1 minute. You only need the 1 minute and the 3 minute, but the 1 and 3 have to agree. Buy signal there. Stop out here. Second lower small blue dot below the price. Yes, you can use candles, Vin. I don't prefer those. I much prefer the open, high, low, close. But if you want candles, sure, you can use that. We're not read candles, so there's no use for them. And I much like the open, high, low, close because I always want to see where does the bar close? Is it above the blue dot or below the, is it above or below support? So that's important. But yes, you certainly can. What chart can we add to the 3-9? You don't add anything. It's just a 3-9 chart, where you just use a 3-9. That's what I have in the upper left corner right here. So that was a losing trade right there. Obviously in the trade zone here, and there's a beautiful buy signal there. This was just a beauty. It was just a classic. It was perfect. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. Here's a tip. When you see double confirmation or even triple confirmation at the same level, and I don't mean the exact same price, I mean like right in here. You see how you have the 1 minute to 2 minute and the 3 minute dot and crosses all like practically on top of each other, real close to each other. You don't want to miss that trade. That means there's an extremely strong steel wall of support under the price. What does that mean? It's a very good risk reward ratio. It's very good risk reward trade that we're going higher. And if you had all the red dots and like here, let me go back. Here's a good example earlier this morning where we have everything all on top of each other to the downside. It's red. Red means down, blue means up. That's a really, really strong downtrend. And it means there's a strong wall of protection above the price in case we're wrong and it goes higher. Because I guarantee you there'll be losing trades too. Obviously, many more winning trades, but you got to be very disciplined. It's the hardest part for day trading. So when you see, getting back here, when you see everything is all in just perfect alignment, a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3, everything is just perfectly aligned, and you've got them, and you've got the support levels on top of each other, don't miss that trade. That's usually a very good one. And it turned out good here. We went long here at 45, and we're out here. Well, actually, here's the two greens after we were in a big profit. That's the only time we used the two green bars. That's the only time we used the two green bars. It was so important I said it twice. And we get a stop out right there. And we're out at, wow, we're out at 80. Now, that's a beauty. So we picked up like 35 point, let's just call it 30. I always like to lower the actual profit. So that was a 30-point clear cut obvious winner. You just got to go with it. It just doesn't, it was just a great trade. You had everything on top of each other. That's the key. And if the stops, if your dots are too far from, like I mentioned before, if your dot is very far, like in this case it was, you put your stop just a little bit under those blue, just a couple points under the lower of the blue, the first blue triple confirmation bar. Don't think too much, just take them. Just go with it, especially the buy signals in the strong. I've probably said this 50 times in the last 4 months. We're in the strongest uptrend in history. In history, take all the buy signals. Don't even think twice. Just have your stops in place and go with it. No trade zone here. Triple confirmation trade there. Losing trade. Stop out right there. Second lower blue dot. It's a small loss, but losing trade. Triple confirmation sell signal right there. Beautiful trade. Down it goes. Everything's in perfect alignment. All the time frames are just screaming it's going lower. And that's exactly what it did. There's our 2 green bars after we're in at least a 10-point profit. Never hit the stop. There's 2 more greens. We put it 2 points above the high of the 2 green. Never hit it again. There's 2 more greens. Put the stop 2 points above the higher of the, hits the stop right there. We're out at 520. We're long at 550. That's another 30 points profit. Every 1 point is $20. 30 points, that's 600 per 1 contract. No trade here. This was a little unusual. I was surprised we didn't get any blue bars in here, but we didn't. And I'm certainly not going to question this algorithm, that's for sure. So we're just going to have to get in there. As it turns out, it was only a break-even trade because it turned around, came out very quick, and we got stopped out on that trade. Sweet spot right here, we lost on that trade. Stops go with the previous lower blue dots. So we gave back some money in those trades right there, but still up nicely for the day. But it's going to be losing trades. You've heard me say that a million times, and there's a perfect example. Another losing trade right here. That's a perfect triple confirmation sell signal. Turned around, out over there. Triple confirmation sell signal there. Winning trade. There's our 2 greens. Stop goes 2 points above. And we nailed 20 points on that trade. That worked out nice. Helped to make it for some of those trades earlier. And then, as I always love, that last trade of the day, must be 9 out of 10 times that's a winning trade, because it's always the biggest moves come, generally speaking, the first and last 2 hours of the trading day. And no different than yesterday. The last trade of the day was 240 points. Not for the month. That was just in an hour. It was actually half an hour, the last trade of the day yesterday. I mean, that's a $4,000 trade, and I'll show that to you in a second. But today, just the opposite. It went higher. Not quite as much, but it went higher. Obvious triple confirmation trade. You've got your 15-minute buy signal. You've got your 3-minute, 9-minute chart buy signal. So you got a 1 minute. Oops, it's right there. You've got a 1 minute. You've got a 2 minute. You've got a 3-minute buy signal. You've got a 9-minute buy signal. You've got a 15-minute buy signal. I mean, what more can anybody ask for than that? Does it get any better? No, that's as low risk as you'll ever have. And the stops are going to be further away because your VIX is at 30. I mean, that's just, you're going to have more risk, but you're going to have bigger winners. And right there, I mean, that's as clear cut and obvious and valid as an able trend trade as you're ever going to see. It just doesn't get any more clear than that. If you're serious, disciplined, able trend trader, intraday trader. Again, it's not for everybody. Day trading it's crazy. It's up and down all day long. It'll do a number on your head, and that's okay. It's perfectly fine with that. Either you trade smaller amounts, or you day trade, or you swing trade stocks or ETFs. It works just as good for that too. And then the last, obvious buy signal at the end of the day, you hit a home run right into the 4 o'clock New York close. It's right up here. And the last trade of the day was a 70-point winner. It just doesn't get any better than that. I don't know what anybody could hope for. It was as obvious as it gets. So just, you got to go with it. You got to nail these trades. You got to nail them. because everything was just absolutely perfectly lined up. So stay in it, go with it, because that's it's a 70-point winner. That's 1,400 in the last half hour that Able Trend gave anybody. And I'll show you a pile of emails from the last couple of days that clients, I don't have any questions. It's none of my business. But boy, I got a lot of fantastic emails from clients that just said they made a ton of money the last 2 days. And yesterday's trade, gotta show you that. I mean, it was the trade of the year, probably. I mean, look at this chart right here. You may go a lifetime and never see a prettier, more profitable chart than that. Obvious triple confirmation sell signal there. Never ever came close to getting stopped out. Not even close. Here's your 2 greens. We put the stop just a little above that, and we're stopped out there. But from the sell signal there at 976 to the stop out at 884, I mean, that's 90 points. That's an $1,800 winner. In 25 minutes that Able Trend gave to you, to me, and everybody who takes the trade. Perfect. Any one of these sweet spots right here would have all turned out to be winners. There's my 2 greens. Stop out right there. We went short at 889. We got stopped out at 816. That's another 70 points. That's 160 points now in an hour. No trade here. Clear-cut, obvious triple confirmation sell signal there for the last hour. And that was another 200 points on top of that. It was almost 400 points profit in the last 2 hours of trading. That's 8,000 per contract. It's not, and again, not everybody's going to, get it perfect. But, if you're on a trial now or you're thinking about a trial, compare it to your charts and see what worked better. Just keep it simple. Follow the rules. I think you'll like what you see. Nilesh, trailing stop loss. No, we don't use a trailing stop loss. We put a stop at a little bit above the red dots just to keep it simple, and a little bit below the blue dots for a buy signal, and because that's our protection. Look how many times it hit the red dot. Stop, stop, stop. Did it 10 times there. It's just amazing how accurate those dots are. We put the red dot in there 5 minutes before that even happened. So it's a beautiful thing. And I go through all the trade rules when you get the trial. I'll gladly do a one-on-one trading session with you too. You cannot trade off the chart. No, sir. You have to trade. We're a separate standalone program. Unless you have Ninja Trader, then you can. Rick is talking about ninja signals. No, Nick. Rick never heard one person ever say that. So I don't know. I don't know, sir. So hope everybody like what they see here. Market is shooting up at the moment right now with the futures. Some good news came out about a vaccine or something. So as you can see here, market setting, chugging higher, and just keep it simple. I don't know why your signals would be different, Rick. I mean, for example, what is your price right now? Just to take a quick look on the NASDAQ, we're at 107.18. I use eSignal data feed, not the platform, but the data feed. 117 right now. You can see right here, it's a live chart. That's why it's moving. Here's the current price right here. So it's at 118.17 and a quarter. Just check it with your signal right now, Rick, and you'll see. It doesn't come in late, Rick. Ninja would be the same, sir. It's exactly the same. Just look at your prices. Are you at 17.8, 10,719, 18 and a half, 18? Just look right over here where I'm pointing and see if it's the same. See if you have the same price. If you do, you're good to go. Does the 2 green bar apply to the 3 and 9 minute chart? Yeah, you can use it on the 3 and 9 also. Yes, yes you can, Roya. Yep, 718, 17. Yep, Michael's saying that it's the same. Yep. Last trade of the day. I think you're getting a little technical, Michael. You're overthinking things. A little too much, my friend. Last trade of the day right here. Looks fine here, but you got to give it room to breathe. Give it plenty of room to breathe. Don't, remember, you don't want to put your stops too tight. You want to, kind of, I mean, when you see all of this confirmation and the 15 minute and the 3 minute and the 9 minute, give it a little room to breathe. And if you get stopped out, nothing, you can't jump back in again. Give it a little more room to breathe. Give it. Sometimes you gotta just, when you see everything lined up, and 9 out of 10 days, the market goes up the last half hour of the day. Give it a little room to breathe. And if you do get stopped out, okay, perfectly fine. Don't hesitate to just jump right back in again. When you see it clearly, I was watching this tick by tick the last half hour. And I mean, it was just so obvious that it was going higher. I mean, everything was just pointing that it was going to go higher. Just, again, if the NQ is moving a little too much for you, I totally get that, because sometimes I jump over to the Russell and I say, you know what, this NQ is driving me nuts. Just jump on over to RTY. Maybe that might be the answer, for you, if you think if you just get stopped, if you're just having a little trouble with the mental part of it. I repeat, I totally get that, because we all do. I do too. You know what? Jump on over to RTY and that just might be the better one for you, because everybody's different. So, let's just take a quick look at RTY, even though I'm 15 minutes past the time that I'm supposed to be ending this webinar. Let's just take a quick look at RTY, because I always want to be as helpful as I can, as you know by now. Look at that triple confirmation trade on RTY. It just doesn't get any better than that. 115.99. So let's call it 116. And then you're out over here at 4 o'clock New York Eastern time close. I'm on Eastern time. So you're out over here at like 23. From 17, we'll call it from 16 to 23. Michael, that's 7 points. At $50 a point, that's 350 the last half hour. Jump on over to RTY. I think that might be the better way to go. I find RTY to be just as smooth and certainly a lot slower. And just a suggestion, just a friendly suggestion. You see whatever you think. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. I hope I was helpful, and more importantly than anything else, and more important than trading, just stay safe.